welcome to Cackling in the Void.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Kaylee.
Let's see if the void echoes back today.
We are two best friends diving deeper into the void with Hazelthorn, which is our second book by C.G. Drews.
Yep,
right?
Because we read it in
her.
Don't Let the Forest In.
Yes.
And we really, really loved her writing style. And if you're like, well, you know what? Why not read the other one? Because this one just came out in October, like the very end of October. And so we were like, we got to read it because her writing style is quite gorgeous.
Yes, I personally did love the writing style. So we are going to do this in two parts. So
oh yeah, you're right.
We are going to yes, we are. We are going to do this in two parts. We are starting with the first 16 chapters to start, and then we're going to do the rest of it. It is a pretty small book, but we decided to split it up because we felt like it, because I personally loved the writing. I think there's a lot to dive into. There's a lot of different types of aspects that she brought into this book that I think that she explored so much more, which I absolutely loved, and I can't wait to, kind of get into it. Ashley does have our summary pulled up for us.
I do. I also have content warnings.
Yes, also
by
yes.
the author herself. So that's thank you
that.
so much. We really appreciate you. Wow, there's so many books. Okay, no, different topic. Wow, there's more. Okay. Content warnings include blood, gore, child abuse, medical abuse, ableism, eating disorders, murder, and body horror.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You have been advised. Take that as you will.
This is a YA novel, though. So also think about, yes, those are really large trigger warnings, but also put it into a YA context.
I lost my summary. I'm pulling it back up. Okay. Nope. Wrong one. Okay.
And so YA, just for everybody's knowledge, is young adult.
Yeah.
Just in case people didn't know what that meant.
Young adult. So, yes, those trigger warnings are all very valid. It's in a young adult context. So, the summary is... The summary of the book is, Evander has lived like a ghost in the forgotten corners of Hazelthorn Estate ever since he was taken in by his reclusive billionaire guardian, Byron Hall, when he was a child. For his safety, Evander has been given 3 ironclad rules to follow. 1, he can never leave the estate. 2, he can't go into the gardens. And 3, the most important one, he can never again be left alone with Byron's charming, underachieving grandson, Laurie. Anyway. It really caught me off guard, you guys. The underachieving verb, was not expecting it. Last rule is... What?
I mean, like, throughout the book.
Oh, no. It makes sense. I just wasn't expecting it.
Okay.
In my summary. So,
Got it.
The last rule has been in place ever since Laurie tried to kill Evander 7 years ago, and yet somehow Evander is still obsessed with him. When Byron suddenly dies, Evander inherits Hazelthorn's immense Gothic mansion and acres of sprawling grounds, along with the entirety of the Hall family's vast wealth. But Evander is sure his guardian was murdered, and Laurie may be the only one who can help him find the killer before they come to Evander next. Perhaps it's even more concerning how the overgrown garden is refusing to stay behind its walls, slipping its vines and spores deeper into the house with each passing day. As the family's dark secrets unravel alongside the growing horror of their terribly alive, bloodthirsty garden, Evander needs to find out what he's really inheriting before the garden demands to be fed once more.
Which is a really great summary. Yay.
That's a very great summary. Thank you to the author who wrote that summary.
Thank you for the author who wrote the summary. Yeah, that was a great summary. Good job, author.
It really was.
Good job, author. Good job.
And another way that we've heard someone describe it is a botanical horror, which I thought was a great way to say, because it's they even said in this review, I love how the author does it. It's creepy and weird and gross, but in this really beautiful and eerie way. Mm-hmm. Because it's very botanical. Like, you're in the gardens.
Yes.
The vines are alive, and they use a lot of that imagery, even in, like, describing a person.
Exactly. And I do love how, Don't Let the Forest In, we saw the motifs of the I'm also going to call it a botanical horror because I love that phrasing of it. It had a lot of the botanical horror elements, but I think in this book, even in the first 16 chapters, you can see that she like really pushes into it, I feel. Which I really loved.
We have already talked about Don't Let the Forest In. Go check that out. Great book. It came out 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
And I really do love how, and I was telling you this, Kaylee, she really did make, because it's, in quotes, kind of a similar premise in a very, like, in a way, very different plot, very similar premise. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. I was like, I don't know if that made any sense. It sounded smart.
Anyway. Yeah.
Sure. Anyway.
Yeah.
And so
I can say, yes, it makes sense. Yes.
Thank you. But I'm really happy, like, the characters are very different. How the forest acts is similar, but also very different. And in a way, like, there's certain things that are, like, it's very similar, but there's certain aspects where I'm like, that's different. And, I mean, obviously, it's a different plot, so they're gonna be different, but I really like how she used I do love the botanical horror, and that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah. I also loved the language that she chose to use. Once again, this is like very like Gothic literature inspired. So, you know, it has that really deep flower language, that like over descriptive, the longing.
Oh my God.
But I also like, I loved how this book opened of like him normally locked in a room, but then, you know, waking up and just like seeing that his door is open.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like his
like,
door's normally closed.
And Evander's 17 years old.
Yeah.
And he has been locked in this room for 7 years. And I can't even imagine. He's been having surgery after surgery. And they're just calling him very sick. And he has these, in quotes, episodes, is what they call it. And, like, so he's always pretty often heavily medicated.
Yeah.
And so him being able to, like, leave. And it was a great cold open, I feel like. Like, it's just...
Yeah.
You're kind of just, fuck!
Yeah, one of the lines that I did write down, because like right when he opens, I only have one quote from this portion of the book, but one of the quotes that I did write down is because it was just like when I heard it, I was like, wow, that was so beautiful.
I'm so ready.
The darkness behind it is so thick he could dip his hand into it and feel the nightmares ooze between his fingers.
Wow.
And I think like that in and of itself is just such a like gorgeous setup to what the book is going to be and what the book is going to become. Love that was like one of like part of the first scenes. And you know, he goes out of his room and he is constantly talking about like this pit feeling. He's like, yeah, something inside of me is telling me to go back. It's telling me to go back, but I don't want to. I want to keep going. I want to see what's happening. And then you see Laurie and what's his name?
Yeah. The grandpa?
Nope. The butler man.
Oh, the one that we never remember his name and call him Claude?
Claude? His name is not Claude, though.
It's not
Clayton?
Claude.
Give me a second.
No, it seems wrong, too. But I really
Carrington.
love Carrington.
Carrington.
Started with a C.
Yes, it started with a C. Carrington.
I also really loved how, you know, he's been in his room for so long, and it's wow, like, this is a maze. I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah.
Like, how do I, like, and that adds to the nightmares, I don't know where I'm going. I'm just kind of walking, and, like,
aimlessly through this ginormous house.
Yeah, and then as
it's a mansion, really. It is an entire estate.
And how he, like, even throughout the book, like, for the first couple chapters, he does not know where he's going in the house.
No, not at all.
Like, even as we get, because we're going up to chapter 16, so spoilers until chapter 16. So
yes.
He gets attacked by
Carrington.
Thank you. And he's,
but not
like,
until much later.
Yeah, this is like
not until like closer to the end of the chapters.
But I love how when he's being chased, he's like, I still don't know where I'm going. I'm just running.
Yeah. And like,
especially with his adrenaline so high. And I also really love, I know I was talking with you about this, that like in Don't Let the Forest In, Andrew versus Evander in this book, they both have anxiety. They both have that, they're not doing great, obviously. Mental health, not the best. But I love how they're still very different characters, because I know that it can be really, really hard to, you have how you write somebody anxious. It's hard to kind of break away from that, because you have like how it is in your mind. So like being able to like really make them different characters. I think she did a very good job, because he's a lot more like, oh my god, I'm really anxious, but it's no, stop, just do what you need to do and keep going. Whereas kind of Andrew was like just kind of letting it fester and eat him more.
Yeah, I also just think that his motivation to stay more clear-headed was more of a solid anchor point for Evander, because like his reasoning for keep going, keep pushing is number one, how Byron raised him. He was a very like strict guardian. He was like, no, we need to have proper manners. We act a certain way. We need to behave like this. This is what we do because we are high class.
Yeah.
And this book really very similar in the other book, because Don't Let the Forest In did have very much that like almost like class dynamic feel in certain terms of like, we saw like one was richer and one was poor, but they were still going into this very elite private school, so they had to have money of some sort. Where we're seeing here in this class dynamic, we're seeing, a lot more of it from the more affluent side of this is how you need to behave in these certain spheres so that we can look and present a very specific way. It's we don't show feelings here. We don't do this. We don't do that. This is how I like it. So he was a very specific guardian and was very, very strict on him. And, was raised very independently. So a lot of that is, rooted in that. But then also I feel like one of his biggest motivators to like stay like quote unquote as calm as possible and to keep going is his motivation to find who essentially murdered Byron.
So by chapter 3 we find out that he was murdered in front of him. He drinks tea and the man,
in
like,
chapter 3.
Yeah, and the man literally like drops dead like in front of him.
Yeah, because it's also really interesting how you're seeing Evander's perspective on finding like Carrington finding him in the hall, like with Lori and like Carrington finding him in the room with Byron, but him running into Lori and Lori's being like, oh, like he is here. What do you mean? I wouldn't be here if he wasn't here. And then Evander's immediate thought of, why did he not come see me then? Like he's been gone for an extended stay, and he's the only one that loves me. He's the only one that cares for me, and he didn't even come see me. And so like you're seeing that like first little inkling of, oh, why did he not come and see me? And that also makes him spiral in a very specific way of, why did he not?
And I love how she wrote his spiraling.
Yes.
I think she did a great job writing that spiraling of like the, oh my god. Like, and it's just the voice in his head. And you could tell like how like, because we listened to the audiobook and how it's narrated, just that like intense like, oh my god. And like there was a certain point, I forget what happened, but the narrator was like, oh, it scraped along. I was like, oh. And I was like, once again, narrators do phenomenal jobs. All the
absolutely
and everything to you guys. But I love how she writes the spirals and how his inner monologue is just in his head and like how we see it. It's very good.
Yeah, and so there are like obviously like similar aspects to other characters that she has written. Like, for instance, when he gets into the room with Byron, he can't even ask him like why he didn't come and see him. Yeah. He is just like openly, it says that like he gets so overwhelmed he can't speak. You know, it's, and in certain terms, like he's been here he hasn't like spoken to anybody but Carrington, Byron, and Laurie in 7 years.
Yeah.
You know, and also like it's interesting because, you know, one of the first interactions that we see with Byron is he says, "Oh, have you seen Laurie yet?"
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, one of the first questions he asked is, "Oh, so have you seen Laurie? Were you alone with him? Are you okay? Did he hurt you?" Is like one of the very first things that like come out of his mouth. And so right there, like we see how concerning it is, like from the adults, that Laurie is even in the house. It's also interesting that like, you know, Carrington is like, "Oh, like you flunked out of another school." Like this is like, you know, another school that you flunked out of. Couldn't you like get it together?
Yeah,
you
literally. And, you know, context, Laurie tried to bury Evander alive 7 years ago, and that's why they keep them separate.
Yes. And so, you know, like it's really interesting because that's why Evander hates him. And one of the other lines was he's like saying like like Laurie's name in his mind, and he's like, "I don't understand why I like saying it so much, but every single time I say it, I have to force myself to say I hate him." Just to remind myself. God. You know. So good. And he does. He says it like that, and I'm like, ah.
He does.
Sorry.
It's so good.
I love and that's the thing is like he needs to remind himself.
So good.
So
I'm writing
often,
that down now because that's gorgeous.
Like so often that like he does, like he has to remind himself that he hates him, and he openly is like, "I don't understand this magnetic pull towards him because he did he did try to murder me in the garden. I remember him attempting, like, you know, I remember the taste of dirt in my mouth. I remember these things." And obviously the adults around are very aware of it. It is interesting because we do find out very early on as well that Evander's parents and Laurie's parents died in a car crash. And supposedly all four of them died in a car crash. I'm forgetting if she says, I'm forgetting if it says that they were in the car together or if they just died in a car crash.
It was all four of them together.
Okay.
Because they were all really good friends.
Yes. Okay. I was like, I don't remember if they were all together or if it was like separate. Yeah, I don't know how that would work, but it's but yeah, so it's just that dynamic of him needing to remind himself, the adults being on high alert about it. And also like just like Carrington looks so shocked to see like to see him in like the conservatory with Byron.
Yeah.
I mean, he also, once again, it goes to like the idea of he really doesn't know where he's going, because when Laurie tells him, "Oh yeah, like he's in the conservatory," he asks for directions before seeing him. But you know, Carrington comes and gives the tea, and Evander is like, "Okay, yeah, well, I'll let, you know, Byron walk me back to my room."
Yeah.
Because Byron cuts Carrington off very quickly and says, "Oh, well, he's here now, and so what we were talking about earlier, we can like basically table that and talk about it later."
Basically.
You know.
And
so,
I think it's
but also I like that they did. I kind of liked that they did like a tea poisoning for this. It was very. I think that it fits with like the number one. It fits with the context of the book. Fits with the writing style. I know that like a tea poisoning is very. I don't want to say like normalized because that sounds crazy.
But it's a very common way for a murder mystery to.
Yes, thank you. There it is.
To
there it is.
Have a death.
It's a very common way to do it. But I thought it was very fitting.
Yes,
I thought the description of it was really good because
her
I
flowery
liked
image is so gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like, the imagery she does is gorgeous.
I liked how, part of the imagery was like the branches like sprouting like from his throat. I liked that imagery. I liked that it seemed like the branches were coming out of his ears, like coming out of his face like that. I thought that was really cool.
I do. I really do. And, so then he... Don't die. He is brought back to his room by Carrington. And then he's locked there for, 3 days? Like, it was not a...
Yeah.
He was locked in there for 3 days, and then the doors open again.
Yeah, and it's Laurie. It's not even Carrington.
And then during this time when he is locked in there, he's like, someone murdered my grandfather, so now I'm gonna, like, put up this... And, like, starts, like, the red thing, and, like, he puts it up on his board, and...
He's starting to make a suspect board.
Thank you. I was like, murder board.
A murder board! Aha! Ashley, come look at my evidence on my murder board!
Imagine.
Sorry. Thank you guys for dealing with me.
So Evander has made the murder board where all the suspects and things, and he's like putting everything together. So like Laurie's on there, Carrington's on there. I think that's he's like, I don't know anybody else that would be on the property because he doesn't have many people on this property. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, so he's like really trying to figure it out. And then he goes and like questions Laurie too. Like he's not like subtle about it.
No, he's not.
Which I will say, like, I really like how he's just like, well, let's go do it now.
Well, yeah, but you also have to think, like, even, like, the way that Laurie treats him is
he's very sarcastic.
I love how smug he is.
He's so smug. It's so great. It's so great.
It is one of those things where it's like I understand why Evander gets just so fucking furious. Like,
I mean, I so like him.
Man, you have such a pretty face, but at the same time, every time you open your mouth, I want to like beat your head against the wall.
Yeah,
that's crazy. But also, I feel weird.
Also, I
feel like that was this book. I feel like that was kind of the book where it's like wow, you're so gorgeous. I really want to kiss you, but then you open your mouth and I want to beat your head against the wall. But oddly, still feel
weird
about it.
Yeah, exactly. The best way to describe this book. But the thing that we do have because I remember you and I were talking about how like we don't really get descriptions of the characters just because but we get descriptions of everything else. We do know that I wanted to call him Thomas. We do know that Laurie has blonde hair.
Yes, and she loves her blonde boys.
She does love her blonde boys. And then we know that Evander has
black
dark, curly, long hair.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that it's long.
It says long. I think they cut it, but it was long.
Well,
like, I hated it because they wanted to cut my long, curly hair. But
here's
also,
the thing
long
is
to a man.
Well, that was what I was going to say because I was like, I think that him having short hair comparatively to long hair, I don't think that his long hair, quote unquote, I think his long hair was like my short, like right here. Like long.
I'd say like no longer than that.
Yeah, I was like no longer than
a little long
because like I like mine's not even touching my shoulders yet.
Yeah,
so it's like this, but like also like imagine this curly that would still be really long for curly hair. That's fucking long because we all know that once it like stretches, it's gonna be long. Like long.
I will say I do like long hair. I think long hair is very nice.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Especially if it's like a like curly hair that's like well
I just
kept.
feel like he has very luscious locks and he would have very nice hair. And like for some reason, like I picture like Laurie's hair not to be like
bleach blonde.
Oh no, I do.
Yeah.
He is like bleach blonde.
Yes.
But in terms
like,
of haircut, I was thinking like golf course man. Excuse me.
Yeah. That's exactly how I saw it.
Like a country club family. Yeah. Like
not a California teenager.
No. No. Not like that.
That's a very California haircut.
I don't know if it is, but it just maybe it's
but
just
I only
a very
see it here. I mean, sorry, California. I don't think I've seen it here where it's like
well,
that
no,
long...
because it's there. It gets. I don't
know, man. I feel
scary.
like my hair's shorter.
Everybody's
here.
in mullets and yeah, it's either like buzz cut short or they all have fucking mullets, and I'm like, yeah, no. There's
some people
I'm
can
not
pull off
okay
a mullet,
with it.
but it's not
when they're that young.
Not when they're that young.
Yep. End of the story. No, it's okay, but you know, it's whatever. But also, like, I don't know. I don't hang out with teens enough to be like, yeah, these are like the teen hairstyles of today.
No, I literally don't. I have 2 teenagers that are at the barn that.
Yeah, but they're females.
They're females. So
they don't.
So I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Unless they're gonna. Yeah, I was like, that's it. And like, I'm gonna be honest. I don't interact with people. I don't go out much, so I don't interact with a lot of people. So like, I only see people from afar, and I don't know. Ashley's been out with me before when we've been in public, and I've been like, hey, Ashley, how old do you think that child is? Is that a child? Is that...
We had the discussion earlier that was like, children nowadays don't look like kids anymore.
Yeah, they just kind of look older, and I'm like, oh,
wow, okay. I feel like I looked like a baby. I did look like a baby.
Well, you look like a baby because I don't know, I'm like, I don't know if it wasn't for your EDS if you wouldn't have looked like a baby. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So...
Interesting.
You know.
Because I was like, you still call me baby. I am baby. But like...
Yeah, you look like little baby.
It was so funny because we're the same height, though.
Excuse you? I am an inch fucking taller than you. How fucking dare you? How dare you?
Argument to stand on. I was wrong. That was rude of me.
Yeah, thank you. I was like, how fucking rude. Okay? I thought you were 5'1". Am I wrong?
No.
Are you?
I'm like 5'1" and a half.
And I am 5'2". So suck it. I am taller than you.
Depends if I'm standing with my hips and
how dare you?
But it's also for people that aren't short. That inch that you get when you're like, I'm taller than that person, you hold on to that tiny little height so hard.
But also,
it's so odd when you can look down at somebody. You're like,
but
wow.
Here's the thing: is like when you are this short, I feel like that's also gives me I don't know how old anybody is because everybody's always fucking taller than me. Literally. So I am
it's
I don't
so,
know.
It's also so odd because it's you're always looking up at people, so it's really odd when someone is shorter than you, or eye level, and you're like, wow. I have to angle down. I'm not.
People.
My neck isn't used to this.
And that's the thing is I also don't do because I don't ride like you or go to a barn or something or I don't do a sport. I don't do a sport
valid.
Where a child would be.
Yeah, no, you don't.
So I don't do a sport where any children would be you have to be an adult.
She does dancing.
I am only in adult spaces now, and so I'm gonna be so for real. I don't know what kids look like nowadays, so that's why I'm trying to think of his hairstyle. Where I'm golf family,
golf man, yeah.
Golf man, short.
Really hang out with kids except for
a swoop.
So I don't know.
A nice little swoopy thing.
Yeah.
A little swoop thing. But not buzzed on the side. There's still
no.
hair.
Yes.
Maybe a nice fade.
Yeah.
So
I agree with
right?
that. Yeah.
A cuter male pixie cut. That's really, what I want to say is that he has a swoopy pixie cut. That's what he has.
Love it.
End of the story.
There you go. Yes, I agree.
Me
with
trying
this.
to figure out how to like describe male haircuts devolves
Like,
into us talking about what children look like. I don't know. Actually, yeah, I'm really only in adult spaces now that I really think about that.
Yeah, because it's so interesting because you don't think about like how you, because it's, I feel like in quotes like a transition where you're like, wow, like I'm not going to, like I used to go there as a kid. It's like, no, I don't do that anymore. You know, like you don't realize it until you're thinking back, like, huh? Like the only reason I hang out with kids is because I'm at the barn, and I mean, I have a friend that's in her 60s. I have a friend that's 13.
But like that's the thing is like that's a very universal
barn thing to do.
I was like, yeah, but like that's like a very universal all age sport.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like that's a very universal all age sport where like, you know, I just don't.
You're going to be friends with a 13-year-old, you're going to be friends with a 70-year-old. Like,
yeah.
You're going to.
Exactly. And it's like I said, like the sport that I chose to do is just not an all age sport. And that's what that is, you know?
And that's okay.
It's just only adults. Although there are like people in like their 60s and 70s doing it. And I'm like,
good for them.
Yes, queen. Let's go.
Love that. Good
Get
for
it.
them.
Let's go. I'm like, yeah, that is who I want to be when I'm old. You are who I want to be when I'm older. And yeah, and so like that's the thing is like I do have like, you know, people of all ages, just not in the younger range at all. Like they're all much older.
And
so, but that's how I would describe his hair. That's where the conversation really was, Ashley, just to like loop us back in.
Yeah, but I do, like you said, I love how smug he is, and I love the personality that she gave him.
Yes.
And it's yes, this is a toxic relationship, but the longing. And we ignore the toxicity so we can just enjoy the longing.
I do really I like that Evander is so like, well, now that Byron's dead, like it's just us. Like,
yeah.
Tell me what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what happened. And Lori's just so like, well, you know. So why do I need to tell you?
And I do love how we get the flashes of what happened throughout the thing. And it's so he was being buried alive and then a shovel came and like
whacked him.
Sliced him to me.
Yeah, hit him on the back of the head. And
then I feel, and also in the stomach, didn't it? Because I
didn't think that happened until... I thought that happened before, like, when he was getting buried. It was already done.
Yeah. So they, like, take the shovel and, like, shove it into him.
Well, I thought they did it to knock him out.
Yeah.
So they're not slicing him with the
See, to me, they
shovel.
knocked him out, and then I thought they took the shovel and, like, hit him in the stomach. And that's why he had to have the...
No. No, it didn't happen. No, it did not happen. Sorry. I'm thinking about like what you're thinking about now. It's the person that whacked him with the shovel did not inflict that wound.
Okay, thank you. But I do
Perfect. Great.
How it just was described, because Evander in like, you know, panic, he's being buried alive.
Yeah.
Bites Lori's wrist and rips, and like the way it was described of him ripping out the tendons and the veins, and like he's like, oh, like I slurped them. I'm like, oh my god. The way it was described.
I loved the description where he was like, I'm ravenous.
Yeah.
I am ravenous for his blood. And
I was like, wow. But it was just the way that, for me, it was the way that
I'm sorry, I'm gonna like...
Are you okay?
Yeah. No, it's just like... Sorry, I know I get a little odd about this stuff. But like, no, it's just like the way that they described like him drinking like the blood and like chewing on the tendon and everything. And I was like, yeah, that was fantastic. I really good. It was really good. And I really liked it. It was so good.
And I literally, my jaw dropped. I was like, whoa, like that was a lot. That was pretty cool. And it's, again, for me, it was the way they're like, yeah, like I like slurped the vein. And it's just in my mouth. I'm like, wow, sir. But also, and this is
but also like the way that he was like, I want to savor the way
Yeah.
that he tastes. I want to never forget the sharp tang of his blood against my lips.
Yeah. Yep.
And the muscle in between my teeth.
Yeah. And then it's
just like I want to savor it forever.
I'm in a ruin for you.
Slurping it up.
But, and then obviously, like, now Lori has wrist issues. You would if someone ripped out your tendons and your blood vessels. Like, that would cause you to have some wrist issues. And then we do find out that he was given surgeries, and they put in another tendon, but the tendon will sometimes, like, spasm. And how they describe the pain, I was like, yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, it's so interesting because it seems like, they tried to replace the tendon, but the tendon replacement didn't take really well. Mm-hmm. Like, there was some sort of complication with it, which is why he had multiple surgeries on it, which, is very unfortunate and will cause a lot of pain.
Oh, for sure. Because the more you go in, the more you can ruin it. The higher the chance of something going wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think what happens next.
Well, after Byron's death, we now get introduced to Dodd's, right? Doge? Doge?
Doge?
I think his name's Dodge. No.
Doge. No.
It's something.
We get introduced.
We get introduced to the lawyer.
Yes. Oh, fuck. How did I forget about
the lawyer is coming now to present the will, and he tells Lonnie to get Evander because he was very upfront about it. Doesn't really matter who else is here, but you two can be here. And so now Evander's coming out of his room after 3 days of, number one, not seeing anybody, 3 days of not eating, 3 days of literally just drinking water from the tap in his bathroom.
Yeah.
And 3 days of thinking they've left me here for dead.
Yeah.
And this is it. I'm going to die without this man because, Byron was the only one that loved me and was the only one that took care of me. And now that Byron's gone, not even Carrington is here.
Yeah.
And so, Lori gets back and kind of tells him hey, I went into town and I got stuck in town and I couldn't get back until now. And Carrington's in the hospital. They kind of just discover it. Because Evander asks and he was I don't know. Yeah. I think he's I think he got hospitalized because he was in shock.
Yeah.
And so we meet this lawyer, and the lawyer sits them down and reads out the will, and everything, lo and behold, goes to Evander.
Yeah. Evander got all of he got everything. Nothing was left to anybody else. And Lori is shocked.
Lori's a little upset too. Lori's what the fuck? I thought I was going to get Hawthorne because I am actually his blood relative.
Yep.
Evander is not their blood relative, and it's been made very clear that Evander is not their blood relative. So it's really interesting to see Lori's reaction to Evander getting the estate of just what do you mean, let me see it, and the lawyer being very clear and precise of, no, in the will it states that what I wrote down was of sound mind and true, and if you weren't in the will, don't say anything because you weren't supposed to be in it.
Yeah, and it's I was in sound mind when I wrote this. Here are the witnesses. And so there's 3 signatures down there. And, so, Lori is upset. Which, I mean, that would be upsetting to hear. If you're
yeah, if your billionaire, grandpa that raised you, mistreated you and abused you for your entire life, well, most of your life, for, the past, 7-8 years because your parents have been dead from a car crash, and you're left with absolutely nothing.
Yeah. And also I do love, so then, we kind of skip forward a little bit and they do end up going into this garden together. And first, Evander's like, no, he was murdered. And everyone's like, no, it was an aneurysm.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. He was like, before my eyes, like, that was not an aneurysm. Like, he was murdered. I think it was in the tea.
Yeah, and Evander's, like, very adamant about this. But
he does get scared and run to the forest. Like, the garden.
Yes.
He gets
yeah,
that's intimidating. Laurie does run after him.
Yeah, because here's the thing is, he gets scared and runs into the garden right after, he hears that he gets, the estate, because he doesn't know what to do. And so he, like, runs away into the estate, and, like, Laurie and Dawes are, chasing after him, trying to get him, like, to calm down and things like that. And Evander's like, the last thing that Byron said to me was, don't go into the garden. But here I am, like, I can do it. It's mine.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that little voice of, like, well, you can't tell me what to do anymore is really ramping up for him, which I love to see.
I do.
I like to see how much more empowered he gets throughout the book now that large, looming, shadowy figure is gone.
And it's also, like, you see him struggling with it, too. It's like, no, just go back to the room. Blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, no, but... And then I do love... Also, I don't remember when it was, but there was a line where he's like, I have the freedom and I don't want that taken away.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I also loved, like, this portion because, like, he goes into the garden and it's openly, he says, like, he bursts into, like, this, like, the greenhouse part of the garden, and he's like, wow, I can't believe that there's still, like, little tomatoes here. And he, like, he hasn't eaten for 3 days. This is the first food that he's seen in 3 days. So he, like, of course, like, scarfs it down, and then he, starts eating dirt, which I think is such an odd thing, but it was so... It was like an interesting choice to put in your book, that, like, he's eating out of the soil bag, and then he finds this book.
Yeah.
He finds this book, and he's, like, looking at it, and he's like, I don't know if this is a journal or if this is a
like
a guide.
He calls it a field guide.
Yeah, like a field guide. Like, it really honestly kind of reminded me of obviously less whimsical, but of Gravity Falls, when Dipper finds the journal the first time, and he's looking at it and he's discovering all these plants, and he, like, sees plants that could emulate this type of poison.
Yep. And I do love how he does say, he's like, oh, like, I know kind of these words. Like, I kind of recognize them. Mm-hmm. And he does take the journal back. And
he makes a really big point to make sure that Laurie doesn't see that he has that. He makes a huge point of, like, keeping it to himself and things like that. And so it's really interesting because, Dawes is now put on this suspect list as well. Yeah. And, the boys are still underage. They are 17. They are not 18 yet. So we know that Oleander is going to come and be their legal guardian until they turn 18 and watch over the estate until they turn 18.
And so, that is Byron's sister.
Yes, which is Byron's sister. And even though Evander hasn't met her yet, she immediately goes on to, like, the suspect board as well. And we kind of get, like, a little bit of, like, the family politics of, like, what happened and all of these things.
I also really do love how when she's there and we meet her, she immediately is, like, trying to be like, oh my god, my favorite nephew, and this, and, like, very warming up to him because she wants him to
very much sucking up.
Yeah, for sure.
Sucking up to him to get money. I know you haven't
seen it, but this very much reminds me of, like, a horror version of Knives Out.
Yeah, I have not seen Knives Out.
It's a great movie. You should watch it.
Okay. I'll see. I'll watch it. We'll see.
And you'll be like, wow, you weren't joking. Wow. I'm like, yeah, no, it's, like, kind of similar.
Okay. Very interesting.
It's not.
Yeah, there's, like, a lot of
longing, but
there's a lot of, like, it really, like, big things, that Evander is very set on the fact that this is a murder.
Yes.
And he also like just like talks about like his diet a little bit because like Lori makes him pizza, like a frozen pizza, and he's like, I don't think I've ever eaten a frozen pizza in my life. He's like, I don't even think I've ever eaten pizza. He was like, I don't remember the last time I've eaten pizza.
Yeah.
Because I've been so sick. I've been in and out of surgery, and I've been so sick and dealing with everything that I mostly just eat oatmeal and
what a sad life.
Oatmeal? Me, I'm like, oatmeal and oatmeal? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And this is the night before the sister shows up. So they got like one night. One night where,
and then like Lori kind of says like, oh, she is the worst. I hate her. She is not good. She is very mean and manipulative and just demonstrative. Yeah. You know, her personality is very much that type of person. And, you know, when she arrives, you definitely see it.
Yeah.
You know, the first time you meet her, it's very much, you know, like she's running through the house with her assistant, trailing along and being like, oh, well, we can change that. We need to change this. We need to change that.
Yep.
Write that down. Make sure you have a note for that. We're going to do this, 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 and this. Oh, write down his favorites, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
You know, is very much like that.
And then they end up having like a nice dinner. And like Lori, again, is like, what do I do? But I do love how he has the food and he does eat it. It was a steak, wasn't it?
Yeah, Evander does eat this steak.
But I love how he's questioning her. Like, he really does. He does question her a lot. And I love how he, like, picks up and, like, licks the plate. Just to be like, no, I'm in charge, kind of. Like, give that
just,
little power
just like
move.
that. Like, oh, wow. Like, I can actually eat. Like, you know, there was that thing of, like, oh, I shouldn't do this because I know this is wrong. And, like, they would judge me for it. And then it's the, who cares if they judge me for it? This is my house. This is my estate. This is mine.
Yeah.
You know?
So I really love how he picked up the plate and licked it.
Yeah. And I also loved the, like, added layer of Lori not eating at all.
Yep. Or drinking. And I do love how they note, like, hey.
Yeah.
He,
it seemed like he was so interested in the wine the night before.
Yep.
But now that she's here, he's not interested at all. And he's like, you know, just tapping on his glass with his knife, basically.
Yeah.
And, you know, I liked the added layer that, you know, he didn't eat because he can't cut his own steak and he's not going to ask for help.
Yeah.
Because of his tendon, you know, because of his tendon, he can't cut a steak. So he's not, and he's not going to ask for help either.
So bad.
And so, you know, I liked that little extra layer, but, you know, the layer was disguised with Lori being an asshole. Lori being like challenging her and being like, oh, well.
Yeah.
You're not actually going to get a penny because it all goes to Evander.
Yeah, she's like, oh, well, we could change that. Like, we'll work things out. Yeah.
Like, don't worry. Like, we'll, me and him can work out a deal. And, like, just, like, Lori being very much like, no. Yeah. You're not going to do that. And, you know, she does get upset and she's like, leave, you know? And also how she uses, like, food as, like, a power play. Like, she takes, you know, Evander's plate from him so that, like, to force him to talk to her almost.
Yep.
And then he's like, can I have it back now?
Yeah.
She's like, okay, yeah, like, thank you, blah, blah, blah. In a way to, like, scorn Lori. And Lori's just like, all right, well, I'm out of here. Goodbye.
Yeah. And I've also, I hate when people use food to, like, control, manipulate, abuse people. Because I'm like, stop.
It's awful. And it's just like this, you know, that this is how.
Like, food is something we all need to live. And let's stop using food as a weapon. It drives me insane.
It is one of those things where it's like but it is a very common tactic. Unfortunately, especially with children. Yep. It's a very, very common tactic with children.
It's not even taking it away. It's, no, you need to finish everything on your plate, even if they're, like, really full.
Yeah, either, like, finish everything on your plate or, like,
Which I get the idea of it, and if you're not doing it from, like, a place of malice, but it's saying, hey, like, let's box this up and you can have it a little bit later if you're full. So, you, like, because it's, like, I was I talked about this with somebody, but it was the, like, you have, like, you're hungry, you're eating, and then, like, you're content, and then you're full, and then, like, you're really, really full. But it's like I feel like a lot of people don't realize, like, being content is okay. Like, you don't need to get to that, like, oh my God, like, my stomach's hurting, I'm full.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to just to kind of be in this content area, because at least, like, for me and, like, with the people that were around me, it's very much you need to finish everything on your plate.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting and how. Anyway, I thought that topic was interesting.
Yeah, so we're definitely seeing the opposite of that here, where it is very much like food scarcity was more of like that punishment for them.
And it's also, we see it in when he's locked for 3 days.
Yeah, like, we see him, like, you know, he's, you know, not necessarily used to not eating every single day, but like
it wasn't out of the normal. Now
all of a sudden being conditioned that this could be like a new form of something, even though he is very sick. Like, he still says that he's very sick, and
which
things
is interesting.
like that.
He kind of, and it's like people around him saying he's sick, or he's saying he's sick, but it's
but then his inner monologue is saying, "But I feel fine."
Yeah.
Am I sick?
Yeah.
I feel fine. So it's very interesting to like see that juxtaposition happen. But we even see how like demonstrative this aunt is when she's even interacting with Dodge, the lawyer, when she's like, "I demand to see the will." Like, I don't believe it.
Yeah,
I don't
and how
believe.
She's like, "Well, why are we using this lawyer? What happened to our other lawyer? Like, you just were brought in. You don't
Lori
know
says that.
Yeah,
Lori's very suspicious of this lawyer.
Yeah,
you know, So it's also interesting how much Lori seems to care about that.
I also lost my place. I'm so glad we're all on the same page.
We are in now, because like we've done dinner and everything. We are in this is right here where
got it.
Like Evander and Lori like really get into a little bit more about like what's going on, because like Lori like gets upset when Evander is like, "Oh, like, I love Byron. Like, Byron has loved me." And he's like, "Are you sure?" Because he seemed like a really fucking bad person to me.
Yeah, and like he did. And like he was explaining, he's like, "No, like, he got beaten." Like, you could tell. And I do like how Evander's like, "Oh, you could tell, like, just from how he does certain things, that he was, like, abused."
Yeah. Like, you can tell. And like the way that he talks about it too. How it's like it's not a big deal anymore because it happens all the time. I'm very numb to it. But then also like getting down to the idea of Evander didn't know about his arm until that point. Yeah. You know, and then he doesn't know that, like, for instance, like Byron did the surgery, you know, until that point. And it's well, what do you mean? And then, you know, very like nonchalant, Lori says, "Well, when you have enough money,
you could do whatever the fuck you want.
You can do whatever the fuck you want."
He wanted to play around and see if he could do it.
Yeah. He wanted to play doctor, so.
Actually so wild.
It is. It's like, actually so wild. But
to be like, "Oh, I just want to play doctor for a bit. Let me cut open your wrist." Like.
But like, so unfortunately, like, that could be that is such a real possibility and a real thing.
Yeah.
When you have so much money, sometimes you really can do whatever you want. Like it is a scary thing to think about, but like, you know, think about like what's happening now and all of these, you know, billionaire men that are absolutely fucking disgusting pigs. Just go fucking bleep, 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 bleep in a fucking hole.
I agree.
You know, all these men have an exponential amount of money.
Yes.
Which is why they got away with it for so long.
Yes.
Fucking pigs.
Disgusting.
Anyway, they can go bleep, 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 bleep in a fucking hole.
Yes. Go off. Disgusting.
See, I know that I probably can't really say that. That's why it's the bleepity bleeps.
Insane.
But like that
It's amazing
idea of
what
like the amount of money that you
Yeah.
can have can really protect you, and
And like,
and even in this book where it's like he can play doctor because he had that much money,
yeah, and it's like
and just the
because
acceptance of that.
yeah, and like our society really praises you for money. Like there's some societies that's like relationships are really, really important, but like for us in our society, how we are in quotes being good in society and like how we are thriving in society is dependent on how much money you have. The more money you have, the more respect you're gonna have.
Yeah.
Even if you could do more shitty
Capitalism.
things because you can hide them.
Haha.
Yeah, even though you could do more shitty things because you can hide it because you have the money. Don't do that. Don't be a pig. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eclipse.
Yeah, you tell them. You tell them they could go bleep in there and bleepity bleep in a fucking hole.
But then I do like how they do go back into the forest. And
They
I love
do.
the moment when, like Evander's like picking like, ooh, look at this and look at this and and like picking on these things. And I love how
and
Lori's
Evander
can you stop collecting things?
Yeah, but Evander throughout the whole thing is like, well, I'm not an outdoor person, and Lori's laughing.
Yeah.
Like, Evander's like, I'm not an outdoor person.
But he does say, he's like, I'm not and I like how he says it, I'm not an outdoor person. Like, I'm just
this
looking
is so
at these
interesting because
like,
I've never seen
look.
these things because I'm not an outdoor person. And Lori's like laughing,
Yeah.
And then, he like Evander does ask, what was it like when we were kids? And then we kind of like get into like the flashback portion of where he gets buried alive,
Mm-hmm.
And then he realizes like kind of a little bit more detail of like what's going on. But now they're, it's nighttime. They're in their rooms.
Yep. And,
And this is where like the first like big episode happens.
Mm-hmm.
For Evander.
Yeah. And it's just there's a lot of sexual undertones when these things happen. Like these episodes. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. I thought you were going to elaborate. That's why I didn't say anything.
Oh,
I thought you were going to like keep going, and I was like,
oh yeah,
you keep going. Go. Yes, go. Ashley, go.
How it's very much described like there's fingers running against me, and like there's like someone trying to put like their thumb in my mouth, and like just like, oh, how they're trying to like unclothe me in a way. And I'm like, and we find out that oh my god, it's gross, and it's the wow. Like I remember when I was listening to this, I was just like, I thought this was YA. Like what is happening? Like I was like,
yeah.
Oh, this is
there are like large undertones.
Yeah. And it's
in terms of
you're not remembering everything that happened. I don't think.
Yeah, and so it's it's also interesting how when they describe Carrington now and the way that he looks, because the things running down his face felt like brambles, felt like branches. The thing that was put in his mouth felt like wood. Flowers and wood, and tasted like the garden. And he says like when he sees Carrington, it looks kind of like Carrington, except for he has like a gaping hole of rot and emptiness that is growing a garden inside of him, basically. Which I thought was just like such a cool thing to add in terms of like how your monsters or your like big creatures like are looking,
Yeah, and I really like how the monsters still have flowers. They still have this very botanical like feel to them, where it's the interesting. I really like that.
Yeah, they still look beautiful.
Yeah,
almost like they're scary. It's that scary, eerie, haunting, eerie, beautiful feeling. That
but
is
yeah, no,
they're
I
getting.
just I wasn't expecting it, like the fingers running down, like, and I was just like, wow, that was very.
The fact that you were not expecting that, I was like, that's crazy.
Well, no, it's not that I wasn't.
I was like the interactions.
Oh, for sure.
I was like the previous interactions while he was awake with those men.
Sure.
I was like, nah, that's crazy.
For sure. No, I expected it, but bro. It was the wow. Like, I feel bad for this kid. Like, it was the wow.
I mean, yeah, because like
it was the unexpected in the sense of I was like, I don't know how far they're gonna go with this. Like, how far are they gonna? So it's the that's what I was kind of unexpected about. I was like, I don't know how is it going to stop.
It is a YA,
here?
so
And
know
then
it's
I was
not
like,
going
YA, so it's
to
not, yeah.
get super super intense, which I mean I don't mind. I personally am fine with it not. I'm personally fine with leaving that up to my imagination and stuff like that.
Yep.
Because to be quite honest, I feel like my imagination could be much worse than anything.
It goes back to the point of the
letting your readers think think and use their own imagination and have their own ideas and thoughts.
It can sometimes be so much worse than
exactly
what you're like. If you tell them, oh, like it looks like this, it's like they know like there was flowers on it and he was missing part of it. It's now you're kind of alluding to what it looks like, but now the reader's kind of constructing it in their head, and it makes it scarier because oftentimes the imagination will always create something worse than what is actually being said. Because it's also if you don't know, that's almost more haunting because humans naturally like to know what's going on. And so it's if you don't know, let's say you don't know a character's backstory or something, but you know something has happened, you're not going to be able, like, what you come up with is probably 10 times worse than what actually happened, but it's you don't know. And it's really interesting to, like, think about it that way.
I absolutely agree. It's very, very interesting.
But to the YA point, do you think, because we were talking about this briefly, do you think you would have enjoyed this just as much if it was an adult versus YA?
I think I would have, because the only thing is yes, we did talk about the longing, and we would hope that the longing would still be there and like would really like last for a long time. The only reason why I'm like, oh, I kind of wish it was an adult book, is I would love to see more horror. I'd love to see, really that, like, when Carrington, like, digs his claws into his chest, I want to hear him like the blood curdling scream as we look at, the large gaping gash bleed out. With flowers and sprout, moss and things like that. I would have loved more of that.
Yes.
And I just think that you can't do that in a YA.
No.
And like, honestly, as uncomfortable as it would be, like even like the first part of like when Carrington comes in and like you are seeing like, like the little thing of him like doing that and like other things like that. But like, the even at the end, like when he whispers like, well, he doesn't even whisper it, but like, imagine that scene in an adult book and like making that last like a little bit longer, where there's like probably Carrington is like, where like that slight more uncomfortable air is right there, and then Carrington like whispers into his ear as he's leaning over him with that hot breath, like of the garden saying, "We want you back." Like, like
that would have been
like the garden is waiting for you, like blah blah blah, like
it would have been his face. I know, oh god, disgusting.
Would have been great, but
like that would have been like that. Like me saying and that, so, I was like, oh
and
god.
like, and that's the thing is like, and then like the idea of like just like the monsters and the gore being could have been more.
Yeah.
I want the longing and the yearning to stay the same.
Now, here's my question. Do you I feel like YAs, depending on the book, obviously, have more longing than adult books. Depending on the book, depending on the author and the writing style.
Yes.
But I feel like they do, because they don't have the opportunity to do as
they're not gonna
much
fuck.
as an adult.
That's crazy.
They're not gonna fuck. It's gonna fade to black.
I don't want to watch that either. That's crazy.
But it's
nope. But like, but also it's just like the idea of like, I do think that is a thing, because there are rules and regulations to what a YA can have, like very similar to like movie ratings, like in like PG-13 movies, you can only say like 4 bad words.
Yep.
And you can only like, and you cannot show certain like parts of the human body
Yeah.
And you cannot show certain types of scenes. You can allude to it, but like very similar to this is you're never going to see them have sex because
yeah. And so
that's just not
and it was the young
what it
adults
is.
Are typically for readers ages like 12 to 18, but
yeah, like these are like teen books.
Yeah, and but it's the and
like I know that my generation read 50 Shades of Grey, but like
literally.
No, like, yeah, I was like, I mean, I know that, like, we read, like, 50 Shades of Grey and, like, what was that, like, freshman year?
Yeah, like, it was not.
Like, middle school era.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I know that our generation kind of went crazy, but, like,
it's okay.
You know, I think I would have loved to read a book like this in, you know, when I was, like,
sure.
in middle school or in high school. I still think that I would have been gushing over it. Yeah. Just as much then as I do now because...
And it's also, like, YA... I feel like it's also YA, obviously, because it is written for the teenage, you know.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But it's the... I feel like these books are very much like, yes, obviously, that age can read this, but it isn't just
I don't think they would with the writing style, though.
No. That's what I was like, this feels like it's written for an adult that can be read as a teenager.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that make sense? And it's also, like, looking it up, includes most of the themes that are found in adult fiction, like family dysfunction, substance abuse, alcoholism, sexuality, abuse, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
But it doesn't take it that step further.
Yeah. There's no sex in it.
No.
And that's what makes it a YA.
Yeah.
And so it's like there are like large adult themes in it, which is still why it's considered a quote unquote young adult book.
Mm-hmm.
But also I like the fact that even if these characters, like, I loved the writing style. And that's the thing is, like, style. I think I would have liked it regardless if it was a YA or like a full adult book, you know, just because I love the writing style.
I do love the writing style.
It is really gorgeous.
To finish the last couple.
Yeah,
chapters.
And so it's like they get attacked by Carrington.
Mm-hmm.
But then not only that is we also see
because this is when he runs to Laurie, and one of my favorite quotes is
he runs to Laurie, but we also get to see Bane. I kind of skipped over it, unfortunately.
My gosh,
sorry.
The kids came.
Yeah, we got to see Bane and Oleander's daughter, which I'm forgetting her name right now.
But yeah, so they come and she's mad that they're there. She's like, "Why are you guys here?"
Yeah, she's mad that her kids are here, but of course, like, the kids are here because they want to quote unquote pay their condolences. Mm-hmm. Like they want to, you know, pay their respects and their condolences. But we also know that they're here to get some money. But we also know that Bane is kind of like his mother's muscle.
Yep.
You know, and like bullies him and things like that.
Yeah. And we do see him out in the forest.
In the garden.
In the garden. Sorry, thank you. In the garden behind this red door that was previously locked. And Evander sees him in there and he ends up like murdering Jessica, which is the assistant.
Yeah.
And Ruby comes and I remember like I knew what was going to happen and I was like,
yeah. I kind of liked how I loved how like they described it because it was one of these things where it was like it's like described like Bane did the first blow and from Evander's perspective he says, and it looked like he was ravenous, like it wasn't enough, and he started slicing her more, and so that we could see
like she wasn't bleeding fast enough.
Yeah, like she wasn't bleeding fast enough to give this endless supply of blood, and like you just see him like slice her more so that she can bleed faster. Yeah. And then you see him pull the ruby from the dirt, which I thought was so cool. I was cool. Okay. Because I was kind of thinking, honestly, I was really thinking that this book was going to be like this, the family is united in the idea of nobody can like obviously know what's going on like the estate, but they're there because they're like killing off the garden monsters and they're keeping them away from the outside. And it was like going to be like more of like a happy-go-lucky, like my family's all good, but like we hate each other because we do have to kill these monsters and that causes like a big rift in our family or something, you know.
I'm glad that
but
it's not,
it is
and it's also
for the money.
No remorse for killing people. They're like, that's just how we get our money.
Some of them are just like, who cares?
Yeah. But
like
one
we
of my
need more.
Yeah. And then And then that's when...
Yeah, and then Carrington's
Evander,
attack happened.
Yeah, that's that night. And he runs to Lori, and he's like trying to keep quiet. He's like, I need to be calm. I can't yell. They're going to think I'm sick. I'm not sick. I'm not making it up. Like, he's really spiraling at this point. And I loved when Lori said, who tells you need to be quiet all the time? Pain is meant to take up space, or else we wouldn't know how to scream. Fuck making your agony silent so that you don't disturb others. Maybe they should be disturbed.
Yeah.
Me, I was like,
oh,
wow.
That was such a good line.
That was so good. Oh,
yeah.
my God.
And, like, here's the thing is, like, the fluff and the flower is what I live for. And that's the thing is why I loved, like, this book. Even, like, within the first, like, 16 chapters, like, you're really seeing that. And then now, like, we're here, like, we're seeing, like, the suspense. Like, we're leaving it off here where it's the, after Evander's big attack, what are they going to do next?
Yep.
Are they going to go back into the garden to see and check out the I'm going to call it the Red Room. I know that's something else, but we're going to call it that because it has a red door. And
listen to that. I was like, did we learn nothing? Did we Red Room,
no,
guys?
We did not learn anything. And obviously we're going to go into the Red Room, clearly.
Yeah.
And so it's like one of those things where, you know, we get to, like, you know, what are they going to do next? Is this actually a murder, or did something else get him? Mm-hmm. Was it a monster from the garden? We still don't know who did was it a murder? Was it, you know, was it one of the family? Mm-hmm. You know, did they do it for the money? Yeah. Who's going to get the estate? What's going to happen? Yeah. You know.
I'm excited. I'm also really excited to finish it because I know you finished it. I still have a little bit left, and I'm really excited to see how I have my theories. I think.
Would we do you want to say your theories?
Fine, I'll say it here and so we can come back. I think that the grandfather killed himself. I think that he poisoned himself.
What? Why?
That's my theory.
Why?
I'm still piecing that part together, but I think he killed himself.
I love that for you. Me. First of all, okay. So, like,
you're like,
why?
Interesting theory. Elaborate.
Yeah. Me. Really interesting.
Okay,
please elaborate. And then you're like,
because he knew how fucked up this whole thing was. Okay. And he wanted it to burn down to the ground because it says earlier that if Evander doesn't want it, they'll burn it. And I think he did it because he wanted it to be burned down.
Interesting. Interesting.
So I think he killed himself because he knew Evander wouldn't take it, so they could burn it down to the ground, and that was the only way he knew that would work.
Okay. But, like, would Evander burn it to the ground? Because even in these 16 chapters...
No. So in the will it says if Evander does not want the money, it gets burned down. Yeah. So I think he thought that Evander wouldn't take the money.
Oh,
and so then it burns
that's
down.
That's what you're alluding to. Interesting.
That's my theory. I think I'm wrong by your reaction.
It's a good theory.
But that's my theory.
Me personally, I think that's a really well put together theory.
Thank you. I was like,
I think, now that you've elaborated, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, wow, that was really
that was a really great theory.
Yeah. Thank you. That's my theory. So we'll come back next week with the finished.
Yeah, we'll come back next week with the finished thing, and then we'll see. And then we'll see if Ashley's theory is correct. Yeah, I can't theorize anything. Sorry, guys. I'm not going to say fucking shit.
She did say that the best chapters are the ends, so I'm excited to see. And
I'm not going to lie about it.
Are really
chapter. I think. Sorry. I wrote it down somewhere.
I will say we talked about Our Wives Under the Sea last week. I like to the point where you're like, this has a really good fluff to angst ratio. Where it's like, this is what that book kind of wanted. Where it's like, but this is giving us the cute little moments, but then it's giving us no, they don't like each other, because now we care about both angles of it.
Yeah, and we do care about both because we're seeing background of them separate, background of them together, present day together, present day separate. And so that's how you care about what's happening.
And that type
of dynamic is really filling this. Honestly, starting at chapter 23, 23 to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in the middle of it right now. I'm on chapter 29.
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed it.
And endings aren't something you normally enjoy.
No.
That has to be done
I
right. I feel like there's some endings where I'm like, God damn it. You had such a great book. And then you just kind of like...
There are some endings where I do get like easily disappointed.
Yes.
But the ending of this, I enjoyed it. It was very... We'll watch it. You know, just we'll talk about it later.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
We'll talk about it later.
Week. Yeah.
Next week.
Also, this week is my birthday. As this is releasing.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
If this week is your birthday, that means next week is like our
yeah, we're coming up.
Anniversary.
This month is our anniversary.
That's crazy.
That's so
crazy. We're almost at a year. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
End of
Happy
March.
birthday, Ashley.
Thank you. I'm officially 22.
Gosh.
Look at me.
Yeah. She's so old now.
And our podcast is almost 1, so we need to start prepping for that one. Keep an eye out
when
for
my birthday comes.
nobody.
Fucking Christ, don't wish me happy birthday. It's fine.
Happy
when my birthday comes, nobody can. See, you don't ask a lady your age. What do you mean? Ashley's like, I'm 22. And I'm like, don't fucking ask. Fucking old. If you have to ask, you're clearly not in the generation.
It's also I look like I'm 12, so I embrace my 22.
I love that for you. It's so great. I mean, it's not like you get carded often.
No.
Yeah.
I got carded for getting a lotto ticket. That was pretty funny. But
I mean, you should
for that.
I'm like, the reason why I say you don't get carded often is because you don't like me. It's not like you're buying booze.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you're at a bar or buying booze. So like, where would you be carded at? So it's like
yeah.
You know.
But
anyway, happy birthday, Ashley.
Thank you.
Enjoy. Also, please comment down below happy birthday to Ashley. Happy 22nd. This is her Taylor Swift year. So make sure everybody sing like the song. Like if I could get like snippets of like everybody in the comments like singing like a portion of that song, that would be fantastic. I love that. Just make sure you send her all of the 22 memes.
Thank you, Kaylee.
Make sure you do that.
And also, if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe, that'd also be pretty neat.
I was like, comment, subscribe, hit all of the buttons. We do have an email list. Yes.
That's very fun. And we also have a buy me a coffee. If you guys would like to support us in that way, that'd be a pretty cool birthday gift, but no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure, but thank you guys for joining us. Also, comment down below what you guys thought of the first 16 chapters of this book. Tell us about like how you guys are enjoying like the writing style, if you're enjoying it as much as we are, or if not, tell us why. We'd love to know. But make sure you join us next week for the second half.
Yeah, the last thing we want to say to you is,
what did the void say to you?